There are currently 6,909 official living languages in the world. When linguists David Harrison and Gregory Anderson traveled to India to document indigenous languages, they weren't planning to add another one to the list, but they ended up doing just that. The researchers traveled to a remote village in northeast India to work with the Aka people to expand the documentation of their language. When they got there, they had a surprise discovery waiting for them.
When we began talking to the Aka people, they said, there's another dialect of our language. If you go down to this other village, you'll hear the other dialect. So we went down to that village, we sat down with the speaker, and after hearing just a few words of the language, which turned out to be Koro, we realized that it wasn't a dialect. It was completely different in every possible way.
Harrison said in the LA Times, Koro had not yet been discovered because the speakers are culturally identical to the other people in the region. The speakers of Koro had remained invisible to outside observers because their bright red garments, the rice beer they made, and other details of their lives seemed no different from that of the speakers of Aka, the socially dominant language in the region. CNN reports comparing Koro to other languages of the region is like comparing English to Japanese. Koro shares more similarities with tongues spoken in farther eastern Asia. The linguists speculate the language could have been brought over by slaves. Aka is the traditional language of the region's historic slave traders, and they hypothesized that Koro may have sprung from the slaves, though they said more study is needed to determine the origin. Today, only 800 people are believed to speak Koro. There are no speakers under 20 years old, and many children of Koro speakers are opting for Hindi or English, meaning the language faces extinction. Harrison says losing the language could mean losing valuable information about the region.
It contains very sophisticated knowledge that these people possess about this valley, the ecosystems, the animals, the plants, how they survived here, how they adapted. So if they switch over to another language, a lot of that knowledge will simply be lost.
The expedition was conducted as part of the National Geographic's Enduring Voices project. The project tries to preserve poorly understood and indigenous people by documenting the languages and cultures within them. I'm Alex Holly from Newsy.com. Multiple sources, the real story.